Greetings everyone and welcome to CHV13 module 1 part 2 video. This is 100% lab video. So in this video we are going to spin up almost 5 to 6 servers or 5 to 6 VMs, and then on top of it we are going to install it. Okay, and the theory is not going to be much here, and we are just going to focus on how to install it. So the spinning up machines, I'm going to use some kind of a scripting, and once it is spinned up, then what we are going to do is we are going to do some gimmicks on that server, and whatever the softwares are required in order to do that, I'm going to install it on that server, on those VMs as well. So that is what the plan behind this. So what is that we are going to do? Actually, I'll just give you a gist of it. So these are the 7 machines, I guess 7 or 8 machines. Yes, these are the 8 machines we needed. So out of which we have one Windows server, couple of 3 Windows servers we needed. One is 22, the other one is 19. Other 2 servers are 19, and we have 2 Windows 11 machines, and we need one Parrot OS, in which we already seen it how to install it in part 3. I mean, you are in the next part you will see that. So this machine is ready, and rest are all we are going to spin it up. And this is Ubuntu 24.4, and this is Android x86. So all these things, tools, we are going to do that, and I've already written a script. I'm going to use a tool called Vagrant for this. I have downloaded all these servers and then do this. So once the spin up is done, then we need to do some modification as well. So that is what we are going to see in this video. So after this thing is done, the spin up is done, then what we are going to do is we are going to create some of the accounts out here. So these are the accounts, and I am not going to worry about the password. Let the password be your favorite password, or you can even keep the same password for all accounts. I mean, that is up to you. This is what we are going to do. We are going to create an Z drive, and then in the Z drive we are going to have CHV30 tools. All those tools will be installed on 2022 server. In 2022 server, this is going to be your domain controller, which is nothing but an Active Directory server, and only couple of machines are going to be part of this Active Directory, which is Windows 11 and Windows 2019. So that's what these 2 DNS are pointing to, this particular domain controller. All are going to be the local, the IP address doesn't matter as such, but as soon as we have spinned up, I'll get the IP address, and then I will try to put the IP address underneath this host name. Okay, and then so right now we have only one server is completed. You see the part 3 video, which is already been uploaded, and then now we are going to spin up all these things. So once it is spinned up, we are going to create all these accounts, as per this thing, and then we are going to configure a web server, WinApp, a WAMP server, and a WordPress web server is going to be there in our domain controller, and we are going to have a couple of web services which is running on Windows Server 2019. So what is this server? Is that a domain joined server or independent server? Because we have couple of 2019. One is independent host, the other one is domain joined host. So in which server, I will let you know all those things during the video process. Okay, I think let me straight away jump on to the video process. Okay, so now I'm just going and then closing this. I'm closing this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to this one, VMware, and before that, where I kept all those files, I just wanted to tell you, I will show you. There is something called a folder called VMs. So in that VMs, I have downloaded all these VMs in that Vagrant images. So all these images are all I have downloaded from Vagrant Cloud, and then all these images are I'm going to just put it across in this. So this is the script, I have written it, and using the script we are going to execute that. And these are the script. It is all up to you. Either you can do one after other, or you can do one in one shot. So this is the first one. I'm going to run it. So how do I run it? Just go here, just go to this path and then say CMD, and we will be, command will be opened, and here, what I'm script one after other, you can do that. So I'll show you. This is VMware host. What is that? VMware. So you can run all in one, put it everything in a single batch file and then run it. That is one way. And see all those things. Once it is done, I'm going to move it to Parrot, CHV13 practical, something like that. I'm going to put in there. So already one Parrot OS is there, and you will have part 3 video that will cover all this Parrot OS. Okay, now I'm going and executing. I will say, like, I'm comfortable one after other. So this is the first Windows 11 machine. I'm just copying and then I'm pasting it. And don't feel like it is a time wasting for you. I mean, I'm not going to waste any of the time. So the next command is going to be vagrant init. You can put all those things in a in a batch file and then execute the batch file. The batch file is anyway, it is an interpreter. One command is done, then obviously it will go to the next command as well. So this is what Windows 11 Enterprise, all are downloaded from Microsoft. It is not a original version or something like that. It is going to be just for this demo purposes I have downloaded it. So now this box is, now it will take 10%, 20%, something like that. So I will show you one, and then I will come back the same thing. I'm going to one particular thing. That's the reason I didn't write the batch file, because that is a time consuming process. So I will finish one VM, and then similarly I've done in all of the VMs. See, it is saying it is now completed. So now the next command is going to be init. Init is instantly it will complete. It will create a folder called, create a file called vagrant file. In that vagrant file, what is that machine is going to be, it will tell you the thing actually. So here you will see the machine also coming up, and this is done. Then third thing is, we'll have to install the plugins. This plugin will take some time. So what plugin? It is the guest plugin for Box. So once the plugin is done, this is little bit time consuming process. Once it is done, then obviously we can straight away launch that this thing. That's it, vagrant up. Once it is done, then the next thing is we are going to delete the temporary .vagrant file and temporary vagrant file and temporary .vagrant folder. So these are the two things. I think it is completed. Yes. So the next thing is, you see now the machine will be up and running. Vagrant up. You see one machine will be generating out here, which is Windows 11. So as soon as what has happened? Something has happened. Busy. It says select URI default. It couldn't found attempt to. I don't know why it is going to Windows 19. Maybe in the script, did we do any mistake? Sorry, I have done some mistake on the scripting. Yes, it is. It should be Windows 11, and that's what the machine is confusing. So if it is Windows 11, it should be Windows 11. So so we'll have to reinitiate it. Not a problem. We will do that. CLS. So I'll reinitiate this one. Okay, vagrant file is already there. That's the reason, I have created these two commands. No, vagrant file, no. So vagrant file, I'm deleting it. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to initiate the vagrant initiator. So that will create a vagrant file. Now it is, vagrant file is there. So the third thing is guest OS. Just install guest OS. It is already been completed. If it is completed, it will tell us immediately it is completed, something like that. Come on, just wait for, please bear with me. I mean, not more than a minute, this will complete it. Come on. So once it is done, then vagrant up. So in short, whatever it is completed. So in short, these are the three commands you need to, these are the 4 commands you need to run it for all the other VMs as well. So now we can say vagrant up. I'm closing this so you could see the machine out here. If there is any error, obviously it will display the error message as well. I don't think this time error message will be there. See, it is started importing. So 10%, 20%, 40%, and then straight away it will open the machine. So as soon as the machine is open, then we need to do this is the first machine, Windows 11. So what is that machine name that we need to understand? So this is the one. I'll do one thing. I'll put it in full screen so that, okay, this is the machine name. We need to keep it as Windows 11. I'm going into here. Better you keep the window active. So when the window is active, the point is it will be faster. It will be there in the first the process, so that will quickly process our. So active windows are very fast by default, and this is an AMD machine. So obviously this will be faster. So anyway, we know the machine name. This I'm just going into the command prompt. So 20% is completed. See, now I told you, no, from 20 directly straight away it will go to 90. See, you could see onto your left you will find that machine which is running in. So we will wait for this is getting completed, and once it is completed we need to change something out here, because my machine doesn't have that much resources. So processors are fine, but RAM should be 4 GB. Okay, this is fine. 4 GB RAM and then 2 processor. So 8 machines we are going to run. So each processor, when we put 2, so 2 into 2, so 2 into 8, we need 16. So which is not possible. But of course, we are not going to run all those things in a single time. Okay. So I'm closing this. So once it is, even now you can Control C, you can close it, because our machine started running. And this guy doing something on the machine now. But still let it complete its process gracefully, so that we can do. There should not be any hiccups, or there should not be any unknown issues for us. Okay. Come on, finish it. So this is going endlessly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Control C, and then I'm closing this. So I have closed it. So now I can straight away show the machine. So the machine is already been running. I'm just seeing the machine. Come on. So we could see some blue screen of see, all these Vagrant username and passwords are all Vagrant. So we don't need to worry. And this is the first time, it will take time. And before that, actually, let us ensure whether what card, network card it has taken. So processor, we cannot change it, but we can see it. Network card, it is using NAT. Actually, NAT is not suffice. We'll have to use the bridged card. So everything I'm going to use bridged card, and then I'm saying okay. And NAT is also fine, but okay. So now we need to change this machine name as Windows 11 ENT as well, and that you cannot do it because the machine is running. When the machine is running, you cannot do anything. Okay, this might take few minutes. Don't turn off your PC, please. So what I'm going to do is now, actually it is very clearly giving the message. I can even try Control Alt Delete. Please keep your PC on and plugged in. Okay, I'm not touching it. Come on. See, these are all license is expired. I mean, this is just so the system will allow us for doing this testing because we never know when they have created this machine as well. So all those things I'm going to do that as well. I'm just going and changing the machine name as Windows 11. So how do I do that? I mean, okay. So how do I, there is something, the easiest way is this PC. This PC, when you say right click, that way we have, since I'm in this industry, when it was Windows was very young, rename this PC. So these are all, it is new to me. So how do we, Windows 11, okay, that is the machine name, we are putting it, okay. And then before going into okay, let it restart. So we are going to make a note of the IP address of it, and that IP address will be modified, will be kept in out here. I'll do one thing, I'll say this IP address. So it is gonna be 192.168.29. I will say IP. What is that? Come on. So the default username is Vagrant and the password is Vagrant, and which is gonna be an admin account, okay, default admin account. And whenever you are using Vagrant, and that is the rule. So now I think the machine name is this one. So why we came here is because we need to understand the IP address of it. So what am I going to do is host name, whether it is changed or not. So host name is Windows 11, and then IP config. This IP config is going to be 32. So that let the gateway be 21. So I'm going to put this as 32. Where is that? So 29, 32. So once I've done it, you know what? I will do an ARP cache easily. I can ping 192.168.29.32. So when if I ping it, I think local. Three things we need to do. I mean, that is what I forgot to mention in our this thing. In all Windows servers or devices, ensure that Windows Defender firewall is off, and ensure that remote desktop connection is enabled, and ensure that the password complexity is not set. So these are the three things we are going to do in this server. I mean, in this machine, virtual machine. What am I going to do? Actually, in order to do, the first one is Defender off. I'm just going and just double click on it so that you can manage protection somewhere, virus threat and detection, and then real-time protection you have to off, cloud delivery, automatic, so all those things you'll have to off. Okay. Now what is the next thing which we need to do? Now Defender is off here. Defender is off. Now what is that next thing we need to do is we need our remote desktop connection should be enabled. So how do I do so? Simple, the same location you will have to go. Here is the easiest way. In this PC, right click properties. Here you will find remote system workgroup, advanced system. Here you see remote desktop, and then say remote desktop, you switch on, confirm. Anyway, by default it will be functioning for us. So Windows 11. Now whether it is functioning or not, how do I see? I will go to the local machine, MSTSC, what is the 29 dot, I think 32, 29.32. See, it is opening for this thing. So whenever if it is opening, more choice using a different account, say ::, so that it will take the local Vagrant and password Vagrant. See, now it is functioning perfectly fine. So we are taking, on the other side it has come, we are taking the thing from the machine. So this is fine. I'm going to close. How do I close this? I'll have to gracefully. So whatever I do, it is better to do a graceful stuff, so that not restart, disconnect. So now the RDP is fine. So the third thing is ensure that the password complexity is not set. So the password complexity by default it will be set to this thing. So how do I do so? Pretty simple. There is something called secpol.msc, securitypolicies.msc. In here the account policies, password policy. Here the complexity, where is that password complexity requirement disabled. So by default password must be meet the complexity, so it is already been disabled, right? Because the password is vagrant, right? So vagrant is not a complexity, complex to password. So which means they will have to sum up. So all the three things have been done. What are the three things? Like, you know, first thing is ensure that Defender firewall is off. Then ensure that remote connection is enabled. And third thing is set the call. And in Windows 11 independent, you will have to, you can find, so E colon. I don't think it is E colon, it is C colon only, because now where are we keeping doesn't matter. Actually it is, let it be C drive, because I cannot, two drives, it's complex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going back to this thing and then clicking here. In C drive I'm creating a folder, new folder, paste. I have already copied. No, the copy and paste is not functioning. What is that? CH tools. CH tools. Okay, now it is created. So we are going to copy all the tools. So tools, I will anyway, I have it with me. I will copy those tools later. Okay. Now one last thing that we need to do is actually whether the bidirectional is enabled, drag and drop is enabled. No, it is not enabled. Drag and drop is enabled. Okay. We'll check, we'll drag one file and then we'll drop it here. Yeah, drag and drop is functioning, so which means everything will function. So now this is the evaluation version of Windows 11 Enterprise. Okay. I think this is fine. Now I'm going to shut it down. And last thing I'm going to say Windows 11. Where in here? Here it is a lengthy name, right? So we need, but if it is running, we cannot do anything. Okay, here settings. So this is what I was talking about. Say same Windows 11. Okay. Okay. Now Windows 11, and you can even move Windows 11 onto this CH practical. Okay. Now we have created one machine, and of course 2 machines we have created. And now I'm going to follow the same process for the rest of the machines. So altogether it took 10 to 15 minutes to spin up each and every machine. I have, you know what I have done after I cut the video, I actually created a script and then I executed the script and then I have gone out. I came back after 1 hour. Now everything is spinned up. Please note, this is a direct bridged IP address, and so it is not advisable, it seems. I mean, we'll have to be working on a NAT, so that NAT IP address is pretty simple and straightforward, and they are all requesting NAT only. Even in the book it is says NAT only. So the first thing is we are going to log on to this server, and then we need to create couple of or 3 to 4 accounts, and for that also I have created a PowerShell script. Using that script we are going to execute. So let me quickly log into Windows 11. Okay, so what the next step is going to be, we are going to drag and drop the PowerShell script, and then I'm going to run that. Okay, I just dragged and dropped the PowerShell script, and then I'm just opening. I would say easiest stuff is actually PowerShell, this one, yeah, run as an administrator. So that this is easy, we can see both Visual Studio's code, like terminal will be there at the underneath. I will open it from the desktop. It is pretty simple. Open. So now see this, you have a commands and you have a code out here, and this is an execution. So I'm going to say enter the username. So first username is going to be Martin. So what is it, Martin? The password is Vagrant, and then full name I'm just give Martin Jacob, and then enter the description. Description is a standard account, a standard local account. These are all not mandatory. You use is this account is an admin account? No. Okay, it is a standard account. So again, actually I should have repeated. I have done it for only one account, and second account again I pressed play button. So second account is going to be Jason. So the account name is Jason. The password is Vagrant again, and then full name is Jason Maillet. Okay, he's a French guy. And description, what I'm putting it is as a standard. This is an admin account for us, admin local account. Okay, because this machine is not there in Active Directory, so admin account, say yes. Now we have created couple of account. One more time, sorry, I should have done a repetitive one. Sheila. So Sheila is one other account, Vagrant, and full name is optional. I would say Sheila Sebastian, and then enter the description. It's a standard local account. Create a standard local account. It is domain account, admin account. No. So that's it. So we have created 4 account, and 3 account, and then we have already done it. This one also, and then preferred DNS we need to change it to 888 ncpa.cpl, I guess. Yes, correct. So here what they are insisting us to do is actually DNS they are asking us to put it as 8.8.8.8. This is a Google's DNS address, so we have kept in there. Now in the tools, tools we can do it later on. So we have the local account is Vagrant, that is an admin account, and then we have asked to create 3 accounts, and that has also been created. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to I'll give you all the details in details. I think the next slide has got that details. So let me go to the next slide. Yeah, Martin, Jason and Sheila, and we have a standard administrator and standard account. So next thing is going to be Windows 22, and Windows 22 we need to execute domain controller. So that is what we are going to do it now. So how to promote a machine as a domain controller. So before that we will do one thing, we will shut this machine down. So I'm just shutting this down. So and then I will open the Windows 22, it is our domain controller. So let it go here. So as soon as the machine booted up, I think by now it should have been, yes, it is done. You need to say keyboard Control Alt Delete, and here the password is going to be Vagrant. local administrator account also there, but we are not going to use that. We are going to use Vagrant for everything, because I used to it for several years. I'm using Vagrant. So we need to do the domain. So first installing a domain, actually I guess we need to say, we can simply typing a command, but we need to install certain things, because this is 22 server, right? So how to make this as a domain controller now? It is pretty simple. Server manager is the first one, and here you can you'll have to add a role as an Active Directory domain services. Don't show this again. Okay, so add roles and features, right? You just click on here and then skip this by default. Say this thing, role, we need to install a role out here. Say next. So here Active Directory domain services, okay, ADDS, that is the right. Active Directory domain services is the role that we need to install, and we'll have to follow this. We don't need all these things, okay. DNS, of course we need it. It is anyway, domain services, obviously there is a domain integrated DNS will be installed, but we need any other services is what I'm thinking. Okay, not required. I'm going to say next, say next, say next. Restart the restart the destination server automatically if required. Say yes. Install. So as soon as if it needs an installation, it needs a restart, it will automatically restart. So this guy will go and do the domain controller promotion. In the meanwhile, is there any possibility for us to do the third server, third Windows 19 machine? Yes, we can do that. And see, we forgot to change this to the NATing. Anyway, it is, we are not let it complete actually, or else if it is stopped, then we will have to waste some time. So I'm opening the third server, which is Windows 19, Windows 2019. So the 2019 server, what we are going, we need to create certain accounts, okay, that we will do it. So what I'm going to do, I need to start this box. So let it finish. So this installation is now completed. Now the promote this server as a domain controller. You have an option out here. Just click on here. So add a domain controller to an existing domain. Add a new domain controller for the existing forest. Add a new forest. So this is our new forest. So what is that name we are going to give it is, I'm going to give as chv13.com. So I'm giving ch, instead of com I can give local. Anyway, it's a local domain for us. So chv13.local. So I'm just saying next. Okay, Windows 20 forest functional level is 20. This thing, there are a couple of things. One is functional level and domain forest functional, domain functional. So it is better for us, let us close this. Let us change this IP address, because very important. There is something called GUID record. So there, your AD integrated DNS and your GUID record and your net logon services, everything is going to be tightly coupled. So before doing that, actually let me change it to NAT. Okay. So let the IP be changed. Even if it is taking time also fine, because that is important, or else we end up doing more task. So now IP config. See, it is now, how come both the services, Windows 11 also 10 and this also 2.15, 10.0.2.15. So it should not be the case. So what we need to do is, we need to change the IP address of this. What shall I do now? I'll do one thing. NAT, actually we need to change the MAC address of it. So how do I do? So I just say shutting symbol, because you cannot change all these things while running. This is the Windows 19 machine, and here we need to create some accounts. Okay, let me do that. I mean, I will go here. In the meanwhile, see, there are some MAC address network. This is the MAC address, so possibly this and that might be the same. So we'll have to just click few clicks so that it will be automatically changing it for us. And now it is done. Now it will switch on. So in this machine we are going to install Active Directory domain services. So let me minimize this. Let us minimize that also. So we will open Windows 19 because it is already up and running. I need to go to this control, and the password is Vagrant. So what we are going to do in here, we are going to create some of the accounts out here. So what is that account? We are going to create a similar account. We are going to create it in here as well. Let us see that. I mean, it is Windows 2019. Yes, it is 19. So we are going to do the same thing. And this is PowerShell, and this is the right PowerShell. Run as an admin. So before that, we need to drag and drop our script out here. I drag, okay, drag and drop is not functioning here. So what I need to do, I need to enable share bidirectional. Okay, now let me check. No, I don't know why it is not functioning. So it is very difficult for us to create it. Gust addiction is also installed, right? I don't know why it is not drag and drop is not functioning. It is should be bidirectional. That is in a disabled mode. Drag and drop, it should be bidirectional. Now it should function. So let me see. See, and then here in PowerShell we'll have to go ahead and then choose the desktop, and you have only one file. Just run the file. It will ask for the username that is gonna be in 2019, right? This is 2019, not Windows 11. So that account is going to be Martin. I forgotten the Martin second name. I don't know, Martin, I think Jacob I've given. And the password is Vagrant. And full name Martin Jacob. And then description not required. Is it admin account? No, standard account. Unable to update the password. The value provided, the new password length. So this is also supposed to be done. Actually, I don't know why I have done it. So this is secpol.msc. Yeah, this is the one. And then local policy, audit knob policy, a password policy. Here, you know, this is one of the requirement. Do you see here? It is there. So all the machines you'll have to remove the password complexity, but in this machine I haven't removed it. So here minimum password complexity enabled. So that I'll change it to. So now disabled. Now I'll be able to run this command. Okay, let me clear it so that CLS, and now the account name is Martin and password is Vagrant and Martin Jacob. Description not required, not see, it is accepted. I'm sorry, one more time I'll have to run it. And the second account is Jason. Password is Vagrant without capital. Full name Jason Mail at. Description not required. Is it an admin account? Yes. And I'm sorry, one more time. And Sheila, SHIELA, Sheila, and then the password Vagrant. Optional Sheila, full name Sheila. I don't know what I have done it. Sheila. Sebastian. Okay, and what is the description? Description optional, not required. Is it an admin account? No, standard account. So enable true, all the accounts are enabled. So this Windows 19, all the 3 accounts we have created. And do we have any work in this machine? Let me see. So Windows 19, we'll have to see the next slide. Windows 19, all the 3 accounts have been created. We'll have to create this Z drive. I don't know, it is not mandatory like it should be in Z drive. We can create it in C drive itself. And then a website configured, that I will come to that later. First we will do the first step, and then we do the second step as well. And what is that IP address of this server, that we need to make a note, right? What is the what is the IP address of the server in 2019, right? In 2019, cmd IP config. No, it is also coming from that one, so I'm changing it to NAT, bridge and NAT. Okay, now it is in NAT. Okay, now IP config, media disconnected. Connect the media, sorry, my bad. Now it should get the IP address from the DHCP, local DHCP. Shall I reboot this box? I have given connect. Now this is disconnect. Disconnect. Connected, but where is the IP? Media is disconnected, we cannot. So I'll do one thing. It is easiest way is to, let us do the restart. Let it come back, and then we will change it. Windows 19, what we need to do, we need to make a note of the IP address. Okay, let it come back. Okay, please go ahead, come on. What happened? And then we will have to open back our prime domain controller is back. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to log on to this keyboard, Control Alt Delete, and then Vagrant. So what we need to do, we need to promote this as a domain controller. Configure the required Active Directory domain services more. Promote this. These are all pain actually. I don't know why they have taken that the DC promo. DC promo is a very nice command. People will love it. And we'll have to create a new forest. What is that forest name? CEH v13 v13.local. Either it should be caps or small. CEH v13.local. Okay, anyway, it is a local domain controller. Let it be local. And before that, we'll have to check the IP address. It should be IP config. It should be 10.series. Again 15. Okay, we will try to change it in the other machine. Or else is it okay, let it be, because the domain controller is 15 and this machine is also 15. But anyway, this is not part of domain controller, but still there is an IP conflict will come into picture. Anyway, I will do that later. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just continuing the promotion of the domain, and password also I'm giving Vagrant. because it is a domain controller, we'll have to meet the password this thing. So I will give a strong password here. Okay, sorry for that. Create DNS delegation, no, not required. So I'm NetBIOS name will be by default CHV13 will be the NetBIOS name of the domain. Okay, I will take one full Active Directory in case if Active Directory and Azure Active Directory together. So I'll come on, these are all time consuming stuff actually. So next, once it is done, then it will automatically restart. So now what is that we need to do in 2019? We have created an account. What it says, so some cryptography, okay, no problem. I'm just installing. So I guess it is automatically rebooted the box also, I don't know. Let me get into this. It's normally domain, it is not required to reboot, but we'll see whether the machine is already a domain controller and we have already logged in. It is rebooted and we logged into a domain controller. So now this also 15, right? I mean, that is the biggest challenge now. If a Windows machine is not changing it. So this is 0.15. So I would change it to 0.15. Okay. Now what is the state for okay, Windows, and what other than that what we need to do, actually we'll have to go here and this many accounts we'll have to create it in and this also standard domain administrator, standard domain. Okay, can you please see it? Okay, this we will do it later. And then we'll have to install WAMP server. So we'll have to go ahead and then download WAMP server under web WordPress. So how we are going to do is I'll show you how to do that. So let us finish this. This is finished already. Let us finish this once for all. So I'm actually I'll go back. So here is also I changed, and this also 15, and this I will try to change it to some other IP address later. And 2019 is that booted back. Yeah, 2019 machine is booted back. I don't know whether it is still in oh sorry, Control Alt Delete. So Vagrant is the account. So here it is still in media disconnected, but it is media is very much connected, and now only media disconnected. Connect the media. Okay, we'll see this later. I'm just shutting down. I'll say like sorry for that, shutting down. Just continue. So 2019, and we'll have to create an account. Okay, so we go back to 2022, and here we are. How do I do so? It is easy for us to create all the account here. So the first account is going to be Jason. Oh, sorry, I'm wasting your time, but anyway, I'll fast forward all these things. Last name not required. Logon name Jason. Password. Will it accept or not? Because domain needs a password or domain needs. Say this is password complexity. Okay, so now we'll have to take the password complexity from the group policy. group policy. How do I do so? It is, I'm just going to edit, and then here where those policies, I mean it is policies, Windows settings, not here, policies, Windows settings, security settings, account policies, password policy. Here it is going to be disabled. Okay, I've disabled it. So now, because the original admin account name itself, the password is vagrant. I don't know why actually it is not. Okay, now the next our goal is to create DSA.msc. This video is going to be definitely 1 hour and above. I'm sorry for that because we do not have any other option. I'll have to make things clear to everyone. So here say new user. So what is that user account I'm going to create? This is again JSON, and then password is going to be, I don't know whether it is applied or not. If it is applied, then fine. I mean, if not, we'll do one thing. GP update / force. So this is a big time trouble actually in Active Directory. You know what? It will. Sometimes we may need to, because this is a computer policy. Obviously, it will function, should function. Functioned. So now JSON is what is an administrator. But before going there, I will do one thing. I will create using this copy option. What is the advantage of this copy option? Martin, last name J, Martin. What is the point? Vagrant as the password. And say okay. Maybe JSON should be a member of add administrators. Okay, I'm putting this JSON as a member of administrators, and then Martin is standard. Sheila is also a standard. I'm using copy tool. SHIELAD Sheila, and let it be vagrant. Next. So Sheila is standard, and Mark is also a standard guy. Mark, and the last name, I don't have any last name for Mark, and this is vagrant. So now SQL Server is an administrator. Who is an administrator here? JSON. Let us copy JSON, whether we will see SQL underscore SRV. SRV. Next, vagrant. We will see whether this guy is part of administrator. Yes, very nice. So that is fine. And Joshua is a normal account, so we'll have to use this thing. Joshua SHUA. Straight go here. JOSHUA. Joshua. Next, vagrant. So when you use copy option, you know what? The permissions of the users also automatically been created. So now DC admin, the last account, that is also an administrator account. So I'm using one other administrator, and from there I'm copying it. Okay, so that DC admin. So here DC admin. One good thing about my Windows is, or Microsoft is, it is not case sensitive. Only password is case sensitive. Vagrant. Okay. So now this should be an administrator, member of an administrators. Okay. So we have created all the account. Now what we need to do is we need to execute. Password complexity is not set. Defender is off. Remote desktop connection is enabled. So we need to download WAMP server and a WordPress website. So that we'll do next. I think Windows 19, did we create that account? I don't know. Windows 19, did we create that account? 10.10.1.19. So in case if it is DHCP is not functioning, then obviously we are going to go for the static IP. That is easy and very clear for us. So now we have done this 1 2 and of course this also, right? And this one thing we need to do is it is not accepting but we have created all the local accounts, but it is not accepting some media disconnect is what is saying. And this is that computer. Okay, I'm double click on it. Is that an error message for that? Uh-oh. So which means it is not accepting the NAT configuration. Okay, if that is the case, then we'll have to change everything into a bridged adapter. So network, it is going to be NAT and bridged adapter. Say okay. These are all not a problem, but the problem is the domain controller, whether if it is functioning or not functioning. Anyway, domain controller is online only now. So here we'll have to change it to bridged adapter. So it is whenever if you do some changes in domain controller, especially on the network side, it is better to reboot the box, or else that will create a big time trouble. As I already told you, all the Active Directory, integrated DNS, Active Directory, NetLogon, and there is some record called GUID record, Global Universal Identifier. So that record will create a big time trouble for us. So that is the biggest disadvantage of see, once you change, and changing the IP addresses are all challenge, but it's okay, it is fixable, but it will pull all our resources, right? Now I've done it, so I'm not going to touch this existing configuration. Okay, I'm let it be in this, because that there is no dependency on it. Okay, now this server is coming fast. Okay, so next thing is we are going to download the WAMP server. So WAMP download. So here you can have something in Forge. So WAMP server download, I'm going to do that for Windows. Okay, so I'm just downloading this server. Okay, I will do that and then I will put it on the server. So I actually already rebooted, and then I just come back, Control Alt Delete, and I'm going to so let me easily actually that this PC I wanted cursor, go to theme, desktop icons. So all these icons are mandatory for me, or else I will be struggling. And these are the icons. I'm sorry. So this is essential for me. So I need to move it to, there is something called tools I've already created, I guess. So what we need to do is we need to, in the 22 server, we need to create, not mandatory. Now if I ping the domain, it has to ping the IP config. See, 227, right? So when I ping the domain, it has to ping this IP. Ping, what is the domain name? chv13.local. So it is pinging IPv6, but IPv6 is fine, but the same one. Okay, very good. So now we need to disable IP v6. So how should I do ncpa.msc? This is what Microsoft, the biggest ncpa dot, I think cpl. This is control panel tool, right? So we'll have to go here. Disable IPv6 is not required for us. And now I've done it. So now if you ping it, say it is pinging the local IP. Very good. Somehow it is not happened anything. And now we need to configure something called CEH tools. Done. Put this. I already downloaded the WAMP server and plugins. I'll do one thing. I will pull all this here. So what are the couple of plugins? One is WordPress upgrade, and this extract all. Okay, LinkedIn, all those some of the tools are here. It's okay, fine. And then here, what is that? Possibly WordPress. WP meaning WordPress only. Okay, what is that? Yeah, it is a WordPress site. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Short code, all those things are there. Okay. Right, readme. Right. So let us install the WAMP server first, and then we will go to. So I'm installing the WAMP server on the domain controller. Okay. So that is what they are requesting us to do. WAMP server on the domain controller. See this, and then I'm saying yes, and then WAMP64, and saying next, and then see it is. Let us wait for WAMP to complete. In the meanwhile, 2019 server is also up and running with the default card, the bridged card. So I'm going to Vagrant. So all are going to be. So what is that IP address we need to identify? So it is 35. So I'm going to update 35 out here. So what is that IP address of our original server is 227, I guess. Let me once again, I'll confirm. Yes, 227. So I just update that 227 also there. So yes, let it be edge. Okay. Okay, we'll have to choose that edge. I think this one. Okay. Do you want to choose another text editor? No. So let it default. It will do that. So here we do not have any other. Only thing is we need to understand that and say shutdown. Okay, other okay, plan. So I'm shutting down 2000, and I'm just starting Windows 11 box, and this we have configured Windows 11 box as what? So I think it is in NAT, so we'll change it to bridge. Say OK. So once the IP address is received, then we are going to update the IP address as well. So I'm just going, and then I'm just logging into Vagrant. Now I'll have to check the IP address of it. IP config, and now it is 32. So this is gonna be Okay, so all are updated. Now I mean in this server nothing to be done. I mean one thing we need to do is ncpa dot control panel, and then we'll have to remove that. We don't need IPv6 okay anymore, that will create some other confusion for us. So once it is done, then we are going to shut down Windows 11 box as well. Okay, done, and I'm minimizing this, and this is our WAMP server installation. So it is completed now. So WAMP server is now up and running. So I mean it is installed but not running. So just go to WAMP server. So now double click on WAMP server. So it should be something in our so here red should be converted into green. Okay, so it is now ready. So when you see here, so this is a green in color. We need to install WordPress out here. So the first thing is we are going to install the WordPress database. So here you just click on it and then click on the local host. Okay, I'm sorry, system is a little bit slow actually, because okay, click on local host and it will open. Come on. So now click on my PHP admin, just go over here, and since we are in default configuration, so it should be root, and then there is no password is configured out here. So now we need to create a database. So create a database in the name of WordPress. Database name is WordPress, and then say create. So once it is created, then it is done. The next thing is we are going to install the WordPress. So we'll go to WAMP folder where it is installed. It is there in C drive, and we have WAMP 64, and you have a www folder, and there we need to just go ahead and then say WordPress. So WordPress is just created. So now we'll go to wordpress.org and then download WordPress. So we are going to download WordPress now. So the latest version. So this is the latest version, which is 6.7.1. Let us download this WordPress, and then once it is done, we are going to extract that, and then the complete copy is going to be pasted onto our WAMP server WordPress, WAMP server www WordPress here. Okay, that is what we are going to do it now. So now the WordPress is downloaded. It is there in the download folder. So I'm just extract it. So once it is done, then all we'll have to copy and paste, as I said, from here to WordPress folder, and after that we are going to install it. Okay, pretty simple process. Okay, now extraction is completed. Now I'm going to just copy and paste. So here it is extracted. So we are going to WordPress and just copy everything, copy, and then go to our location WordPress, WAMP www WordPress, and say paste. So once it is pasted, then we are going to website, and then here local host rather than PHP admin / WordPress. Okay, that is what we are going to do. So the initial page will now, since it is copying, so once the copy is done, then obviously I think copy is done. So now actually go to WordPress and then refresh. See, this is the installation of WordPress the first time. Just click on English, continue, and then let's go and let the database name be WordPress, and the username password. So let it be WordPress, and the username is root, and rest of the things are all same. We do not have any password for root. Actually it should not be the case, but it's okay, but it is a lab. Let us not create any complications out here. So it is now asking for the password, which is the site password. So this is just an site information. I'm giving it as Cyber Mentor, and then the username, actually let it be Cyber Mentor. Sorry, and the password I'm giving Vagrant. Here also username also I give Vagrant. Okay, Vagrant, and then confirm the user weak password, and then email address I will give feedback@mkkpro.com. okay, and then I am installing the WordPress. Okay, success. Now the username is Vagrant, and then password is the chosen one. So it is, now we are inside the WordPress. Okay, this is the WordPress website. Now we need to create a website for it. That is, which website is what we need to confirm. That I will let you know. I guess actually we need to add something called DVWA site onto that, which should be running on port number 8080. Okay, that is what we are going to do. So it is pretty simple, like, you know, we have to go to chtool, and then the websites, yeah, DVWA, there is a website which is running in, and then we are going to just copy this website, copy this entire website, and then we are going to paste it to our location in here, www. Here we are going to paste. So it is done. Now the port number is what we need to change it, and before that let us check whether it is working or not. So what is that? DVWA. Maybe we'll have to give login also. Login.php. Let's see whether it is functioning or not. No system error. The configuration file not found. Copy config inc php dist config inc.php. So that we will do it now. So this is actually, I mean, what we are going to do is, actually we are going to change this php.dist. We are going to rename it to PHP and then configure your environment. So let us, before that, let us go to that location, you know, where it is in website DVWA, not here. I mean, so we'll have to go to where we have copied that is in WAM server, in www, in DVWA, and here you have config, and you have, this is what we are going to do. Before renaming it, actually we need to create an so what is that database we are going to create, and we are going to create sorry, the database name is going to be DVWA, and then user DVWA, and password is so and so, and then the port. So we'll have to create DVWA. Let me copy this password alone, because that is database and user both are same, easy. So we'll have to go here in here. So we will create a so this is a new, create a database, and database name is going to be what is that? DVWA. By the way, DVWA is a most vulnerable application, and we are going to enjoy this application. We are so we have created username and password is also not required because I don't think it is required because it is or we can give root with no password. Simply we will go here and root with no password. That is possible as well, I mean easy. So here in order to access this we need that account. Okay, I'll do one thing. I will go to our config file where this one the original config file, we will rename it to before renaming it we will open in the notepad, and this we'll have to close it. Okay, config file, we'll have to close this first and open with the notepad. So here dvwa user is going to be, rather than dvwa I would say root and no password as well, because root account doesn't have any password. So this is local and we will check whether it is working or not now. So before that, save it and then we will check whether with this website. Okay, one more important thing is we need to change it to PHP CMD, and I'll go to this location, and here is where the copy. So copy, let us not touch that existing one, .inc.php. okay, and we have php .dist to config.inc.php, enter. So it is now done. Now we'll go check this. So it is asking for username and this thing, so it is going inside. Okay, and that's it. So this is exactly we needed, and that has also been done. Now the next thing is actually we need to go and create a set the database. So once it is done, then I think the system is now ready. Yeah, now if you click on it, it won't allow, because previously even if it is blank it would have been allowed, but now it is. So the password is going to be admin, the username is going to be admin and password is password. So that's it. I mean got it. And this is where actually it's so nothing is in red, so we don't need to worry about it. I mean if you see setup and PHP function allow URL include disable, and then database, and what else is missing, reCAPTCHA is missing. Leave that reCAPTCHA. So PHP we will configure it in 2 minutes. So this, in order to do that, actually we'll have to go to XAMPP and go to config. So what it says, PHP function allow URL include. So I guess PHP we will I think this one. So here you can change, you can check for it, include, it is now off, so change it to on. Okay, on, and once it is done, say close. Yeah, say close, save, and we'll have to restart the service. Okay, how to restart the service? Start all services. Okay, restart all services. So once it is restarted, obviously everything is gonna be perfect. So the username and password for this is admin and password. Okay, and this is also going to be enabled as soon as once the services are restarted, right? I think it by now no, I mean when it is restarted you will see the color, so it should be green. So once it is green, then when you refresh it, and that also would be gone. So that's all from this server, and we need to go to a 2019 server, and there we need to install a couple of websites. We will see how we need to do that. So now it is in green, so just verify that. See, it is also gone. So now we have got the server, and so you go to home, and this is damn vulnerable, and you love it working. I'm working this for quite some time, not for the certification, but in order to, for the knowledge sake, right? So I'm going on to now 2019 server. Okay, 2019 server, whether it is offline or online, I don't know. So I'll have to go to 2020, see 2019 server. Just go here, and then before that check the setup, whether it is in okay, it is in bridge only. So now start. So what we need to do is actually 2019 server. We have already created all the 3 accounts. So we need to install couple of websites out here. So how do we do that? I mean, that is what we are going to go with it. So after that, the one more Windows 11 server, we'll have to keep that 11 server underneath the domain. So we'll have to join that server in domain. I will show you how to do that. Now we are inside this thing. This is also a challenging stuff for us, as I haven't done it. Control Alt Delete Vagrant. Okay, and now what we are going to do is actually we are going to just install a couple of websites, and before that I'll do one thing. I'll create a local folder, C drive, and then I'll create a local folder, ch hyphen tools. Okay, I'll just copy only website. Okay, I'm just copying the website, and then oh, it is not functioning. Yeah, so now we need to have good shopping and moving server. So we'll go to server manager. So server manager, and then come on, let it come up. So it's easy for us to install. Same, the tools we'll have to follow, and then install that. I think this is the last one. Okay, bear with us. Sorry, bear with me, so that I can complete this. I can upload this today itself. There are plenty of people already messaged me. Okay, now I will have to select the roles. So it is IAS only, no? So it is easy. From here you can manage, add roles and features. Next. IAS, Internet Information Server, here web server. So I'm just all the features, and say next, say next, say next, say next. Automatically, if required, okay, say install. So once it is installed, obviously we are going to run that setup again, so that that will function. I don't know in one time how come 2 websites will be functioning. I don't understand, but we will see whether how. So the installation is done now, so I'm closing it. Now we will go back and then again execute that. Okay, succeeded. Now we'll have to go back to that location, and then ch tools websites, and then good shopping. Just double click on it. next, open next, Vagrant, next, install, finish. So I think we'll have to do some manual task out here. You know what? So we'll have to go to c:9 pub www root, and you have got some the shopping, and here you have a web config file. I'll open this with the notepad. Notepad plus plus is better, but so here we need to ensure, like, the source. So now the source is this one, right? In spite of that, we are going to change the local host name. So local host name, I think server 2019, if I'm rightly understood. So cmd host name. Oh, no, we need to change this host name first of all. I don't know why host name is not changed. Okay, and now this is a normal Windows 19, right? I mean IP config. Yes, this is 35 Windows 19. So what we will do, we'll have to server 2019. Okay, let me close this, save this, and in the meanwhile, let me this PC properties, change the computer name. I don't know why did I forgot to do that, and this is very important stuff. So this, because I already updated everywhere, so if you could see, the server name is server 2019. So this restoring, okay, close, restart now. Let it restart. As soon as it come back, well, I'll continue. Came back. Go here. So once when you configure that, we need to configure Good Shepherd. Default ASPX also we'll have to configure the CS file. So here somewhere they would have given us the credentials. Yeah, here we go. Okay, here we need to give a local IP address. Local IP address is you will see the local IP address here, not here. What has happened? So this is the IP 192.168.29.35. Okay. One 192.168.29.35. Okay, this is also one of the key. I don't know why they have not updated all these things, but IP address, how do they know? Actually, we'll have to manually do it. Now the changes have been done for this, but we need an SQL server here. So we'll have to install SQL Express. So that's what I am doing it. SQL Management Studio. I don't know why we need Management Studio. We need straight away we can have, okay, we'll have to import the database, and for that we must need a studio. So that the studio installation is about to complete. So now it is completed. Now we need to install the SQL Express also. This is SQL 2022 Express. So let it install. So I'm choosing basic only. We'll say accept, install. So it is done. So I'm closing it. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes. So now the next step is going to be our database have to be imported. How do I do that? Here we go. So we will click here, SQL Server Management. This is configuration, user reporting, import. I think we do not have that. Okay. SQL Server Tools, Server Management Studio. Okay. So SQL Server Management Studio, we'll have to go. So we need to connect to this local express. Okay. So here we need to create the database, which is good shopping, and then so options, it should be a simple one, simple recovery, yeah. So and then say okay. So now we have created a database for good shopping. Okay, database for good shopping, right? Okay. Now we need to import our database. How do you do that? I mean, you just go here, task, and then restore database, and we need to choose device, and where it should be in a file, add, where that file is located. It is in C drive, CH tools, websites, good shopping, DB, good. So now I am closing this, say okay, and options, we'll have to override the existing one, and that's it, done. We have done it successfully. So now what we are going to do is we need to add that IAS. We'll have to go to IAS. So how we did it a similar way, we'll have to do that the same thing for movie scope as well. And there is one other, so I'm going to, so we'll have to follow the same route, like C colon CH websites. So movie scope is there, double click on it, install it, restore it from the backup. It's pretty simple. Say next, accept, next, here, Vagrant, next, next, finish. So this is done. The next thing is going to be, we'll have to go to inetpub C colon inetpub www root movie scope, and we have a web config, right? This is the web config file. Edit, and there the server name should be where is the server name? Add, here we go, server 2019, and then close this, save it. Then you have index ASPXCS file. So here we'll have to open using Notepad. So using Notepad, so here the IP address of it, I mean it is pointing to some other IP address. We'll have to point it to, I think, are we connected to the right file? Yeah, CS file only, index.cs. So check. So here check that connection string. Am I sticking with the wrong location or what? It is not mentioned out here, so we are not going to worry about it here. So similarly, but we need to go back to SQL, and then we will create a new database. Database name is MovieScope. So here, is there any, it's a simple database, okay, general MovieScope, simple database, and database is created. Now go to task, now go to restore database, device, choose the local drive, add where it is located, CH tools, websites, scope DB, and then this is the one. Say OK, and we'll have to override the existing one. Save OK. We'll have to give a message, right, and done. So now the MovieScope is done. And similarly, we'll have to go to IIS and site, add site, MovieScope, and the physical path is inetpub www root movie scope, and then here you'll have to choose the host name www moviescope.com. Okay, I think we have added 3 sites. So we don't need to test anything right now because we are just preparing the setup. So it is not a good thing to test it now. So whether all those things are all done is what is important. So we have created all these things, did it, and then this site is up and running, and we have a couple of things are up and running. And beyond that, if there is anything, I will let you know, and we'll have to log on to other Windows, and we'll have to add that couple of domain to our domain. Actually, that is one other thing. And on top of all these things are done, then one last thing is uh, Android device we'll have to set up. Okay, but pretty simple. All are going to be completed within 10 minutes. So what we will do, let us close this, and then we will go back here. We don't need of Windows 22 is a mandatory because we are going to join couple of devices, and this one is not required anymore. So I'm sending the shutting down signal, and once it is done, then we are going to boot the other. This is enterprise, and here we are opening these two servers. I mean, one is Windows 11 ENT, the other one is 2019 second server. Now we are in Windows 11. So I am now click here. This PC, right click, properties. You'll have to move here, domain or group. Here change domain chv13.local. Save. Okay. Now we'll have to go here. Control Alt Delete. Vagrant. So now this PC 2019, right? Yeah. Change the settings. Change here. Domain chv13.local. Vagrant. Save. Okay. Okay. Restart. So now we will go back to Windows 22 and then check this. How do I refresh? F5. See, now both will function. See, this is Windows 10. We will log in as Mark of. See, now Mark of the domain. Actually, Mark is a domain account, not a local account. So it is now fine. Now the only thing is pending, which is Android machine. That is not much time. So now this also, here they are saying SQL server, use log on using SQL server account. I'm sorry, input log on using other account, SQL underscore SRV, SQL underscore SRV. Okay, this also logged in. This also domain account. So both domain accounts logged in. Now we do not have any other than shutting down. And this Windows 11 also we are shutting down. And 22 also we do not need. Let us shut it down. Okay, so all the machines are shut down now. Now the last process which is gonna be in our system, so all have been, let me re-verify one more time. Almost we reached the final destination. So these are our the report of setting up our lab CHV13. After this we all machines have been deployed except Android. Android also OVA file I downloaded it, so I'm going to complete it within a minute or two. You are right. I mean, what we have done it. We have couple of Windows 11 machines. One goes to Windows, our domain controller, or our part of our domain, and one is an independent host. And we have couple of Windows Server 2019. One is an independent, one is a domain joined, and we have a domain joined host. Both are the hosts are pointing to the DNS pointing. And apart from that, we have three non-Windows machines. One is Parrot, and that is what our core machine, wherein we deploy, we learn everything. And then we have Ubuntu GUI version 24.04, and we have Android, which is gonna be deployed in a minute or two. So I already downloaded Android OVA file. I'm going to deploy it straight away here. And then all these things you will find out in the description of the video. Okay, I'm going to straight away, in the interest of time, I will open a box, and then let me straight away go ahead. Since it is a OVA file, we'll have to choose the file, actually where the file is located. I kept it in documents, and this is the file. So let me finish it. So automatically that will import the appliance. It will not take a minute, maximum of two. We will see. So it is a very small and quickly we can deploy it as well. All right. Let me see. First of all, it is, I think, 7.1.2 or what. See, it is 98% done. It is done and dusted. So now it is deployed it here. So we'll have to move it to here, right? So all these things are all now done. Now we'll have to start this box. So it is the biggest problem with this thing is it is a resource hunger, and we need 8 GB RAM and then 4 CPUs. Yeah, it is 14.0, 14.1. It is not Oreo, it is the latest version. Yeah, this is the latest. 14.01 is the latest one, and we will see whether it is loading. Yes, it is perfectly loading. So we'll wait for a while. Now it is Lineage loaded. So Android, now it is done and dusted. I think the version is 7. I don't know where to go and see the version. See, I'm very good cyber security resource, not all Android and all, but let me check that. I mean, we can have something called settings. Yeah. So in settings, I don't know why the color is in this color. So we have accounts privacy, about 7.1.2. So what I said is correct. So this is gonna be our yeah, Lineage OS. Lineage OS 14.1, unofficial of Android x86. So it is not Oreo, it is Guava. So that is the API level, and then I think this will support all the lab exercise of CEH. We'll see. If it is not supported, then we'll have to upgrade it later. Okay. So now Android also up and running. Now I'll do one thing. Apart from that, I don't know what to show here because there is no machine name. Yes, machine names are there, but we are not going to use it. We can maximum say So if there is any IP address, if it is displayed, that also I can show it to you. No IP addresses are displayed here. There should be some, yeah, status should have IP address, right? So both it uses it is not an it uses IPv6. I don't know where to go and change this IPv6 into v4 of Android. Anyway, I mean, this is suffice as far as if it is browsing is fine, then everything is should be fine. So let me go and then go to Google whether it is functioning. Okay, so now browsing is also fine. I mean, now apart from that, so let me check, is there any internet so let us go to vidIQ whether it is functioning. Yeah, it is functioning. Yeah, it is fine. So what we need to do is, we, apart from other than sending the shutdown signal, I do not have any other options here. So I am sending the shutdown signal so that it will power off the device. So I think that's it. The lab is done and dusted, and the next thing is we can straight away go ahead and then finish the theory is very easy. That can be self-learned, but practical is where the practical is very easy to score. Theory is very tough to score, and theory is very easy to study. Practical is little bit, we need resources. We need to sit in front of computer. So those are all disadvantages, advantages, pros and cons, I would say. Okay, I think now if we see after Android installation, so everything is finished. So setting up the lab for CHV13 is now 100% done and dusted. So the next thing is we are going to set up Parrot. I'm going to install, it is already been done, but the previous video I just rebrand it as part 3, and then deploying Shell GPT. So that is also mentioned in module 1. So once it is done, then we can make use of all these tools for our day-to-day activities as well. Okay, I think this is more than suffice. Until next time.